long, long time ago, before you were born, even before I was born, this is a long, long time ago, there were...
You mean as long as when the dinosaurs?
No, not that long ago. This is about a couple hundred years ago. Come on in. Yeah. All right, good. We've got enough to do the play. We'll do the play. Excellent. So, what I'm making is a spider. And I'll tell you how come we're making a spider for this story. This is a story from the island country in the Caribbean of Tobago. And when slaves came from Africa to the New World, to the area that would be the United States, they also came into the Caribbean area. And they worked the plantations there. And when they came there, they didn't want to come, but when they came and they were working, they brought with them their stories and how they cooked and all of those things. So one of the stories that comes from East Africa is about Anansi the spider. Have you ever heard of Anansi the spider?
Yes. Yeah.
Good deal.
I don't think I've heard the story, but I think I've heard
Of her? Good, good, good. So this is a story. And once you have got over here, some people some of them looked at other people and they began to, instead of calling him Anansi, they called him Nancy. And then they started saying Mr. Nancy because they were picking up some of the ways that people spoke in the place where they were, in this place that I'm talking about called Tobago. Now tell me, is a spider a bug?
No.
No.
It's
Do
an
you know?
arachnid.
All right! Excellent, excellent. And how do you know it's an arachnid? How many legs does it have?
8.
8. That's how. Anything that has 8 legs is an arachnid. Yep.
Like a
Yeah.
scorpion.
So here you've got 4. You have to have 5 of these pipe cleaners, or whatever you have, because you have to make the circle for the head and the abdomen, and then you make the legs. So I'm going to tell the story. So this is one of the stories from the country of Tobago. So Mr. Nancy, as he was known there, he was very prideful and a little upset, I must say, because the Master King around that area said that Black Snake was the best storyteller around. Not only that, he was the cleverest animal on the island. And he could tell the best stories. Well, Anansi didn't like that at all. And he wanted all the stories named after him. He didn't want any stories named after anybody else. And so he went to the Master King and he said, if I can trick Mr. Blacksnake into something, doing something, will you have declare that all the stories be named after me? And the king thought about it a while and he said, Nancy, you're never going to be able to do that. And he said, yes, I will. You have to give him feet too. So Nancy said, yes, I can. So the king said, okay, you have to do something, and this is what you have to do. You have to get Black Snake to lie down and measure himself out on a pole, and you have to be able to tie him to that pole and bring him here to my house. And Anansi goes, how am I going to be able to do that? So then he thought for a while, and he said, Mr. Black Snake loves to eat pig. He loves it. He So he set a trap, and he put the pig right here and with the string, and the snake would come along. Now they call him Mr. Blacksnake, so it's a person, you know, a person, but they call animals Mr., just as if they would call you Miss or the young men Sir. So, Black Snake came along, saw the trap, stood up on his tail, climbed over, and right down. Got the pig, it zipped home, and they had a delicious dinner. Then, Anansi had to think of something else. So he waited and waited, and then he said, Black Snake has to drink sometime. I'll get something when he comes down to the watering hole. So he made another trap. And Black Snake came, saw the little pig, saw the trap, got the pig in, left. So, Black Snakes talked to Anansi and said, why are you doing this? You know I'm very clever. You're never going to trick me. And Anansi said, well, I have to tell you the truth. I was trying to trick you because I was up at Master King's house, and there were other people there who were saying that you are not the longest snake around. That Mr. Yellowtail Snake is much longer than you are. Well, Black Snake didn't like that idea at all. So Black Snake thought about it, and he said, I am longer than any yellow snake around here. And Anansi said, will you come with me up to the king, Master King's house, and that they can see that you're longer? So they started on their way up towards Master King's house. And Anansi had Mr. Blacksnake come and walk past this little pole that was laying on the ground. And Anansi said, stop! You know what? If you just stand there and say that you're longer, who can tell? But if you stretch yourself out as far as you can stretch, maybe I could stretch you out more. I bet money that you're longer than Mr. Blacksnake. And so he had him lay down next to the pole and measure him by the pole. And Blacksnake said, just mark it that you know that it's the length that I am. And Nancy said, oh, that's never going to do. That really is never going to do. We're going to have to do something. And he said, if I tie you to this pole and stretch you out even further, then we'll know that you are the longest snake around. So that's exactly what he did. He didn't see any trick in that, and he let himself be all tied up. And Nancy quickly picked up that pole, put it on his shoulder, and went right to Master King's house. And when he got there, he said to Master King, see, I was able to trick Black Snake. And the king said, yes, you were. So from this time on, all the stories will be named after you. And they won't be named after Black Snake anymore. And Anansi was very happy with that. So that's a story from the country of Tobago.